Hey, for this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about personal collecting and dealing. I know some dealers who tend to collect sort of not the opposite, but completely different stuff than what they deal in or specialize in. I'm at the other end of the spectrum, and I tend to collect the very stuff that I specialize in as a dealer. I don't have a ton of interest in learning about everything. Obviously, the more you know, the more money you can make in this business when you find good deals on stuff that you don't really normally deal in or normally collect. But for me, the stuff I really know well is the stuff I really find interesting, and that has always been the stuff that I'm also most tempted to keep or want to keep, or at least keep some of. I've sold some really nice early glass over the years that I had intended to keep or wanted to keep. Have to sell a lot of stuff to make a living at this, and sometimes that means selling stuff that you previously wanted to keep. But what I do like to do is at times live with some of the inventory. It's easier to have a nice display of stuff out if you don't have to sink all the money into it. So in between shows, some of my better stuff I'll often display, about the house and everything, around the house, about the house. Did I turn Canadian there for a second? I don't know. Pennsylvania Dutch? Who knows? Where did that saying come from? I don't know. But anyway, I like to display some of the stuff in between shows, and other times I don't have a place to put it right away. It might go out on display. Such is the case with this painting. I originally bought this for resale. I bought this from my buddy Mike, Garage Sale Antiques in Lewis, Delaware, for people who know him. Haitian painting. I love Haitian paintings. I've probably sold, 100 over the years, at least 50. Anyway, often buy them on the Eastern Shore, fairly cheap. The newer ones, not mass produced, but the newer touristy ones I've bought pretty cheap over the years. This one I liked a lot better than most of those. I think I paid Mike $50 for this, and at the time I was selling a fair bit of this sort of anything under the umbrella of ethnic art in the one antique mall, but didn't have space to put this in the mall at the time, so I hung this in the house, and it's been hanging there ever since. Now, it is still technically part of inventory, and one of these days I'm sure it'll go out to a show or out to a shop, or who knows, maybe I'll post it on Instagram or put it up on Etsy for sale. But it's one of those things, it's kind of a thin line sometimes between inventory and collection, and when you just hang it up and don't ever try to sell it, then obviously it's inventory, right? Yeah, I'm not keeping it, it's inventory. But inventory is a nice way to enjoy stuff, to display it for a while before you sell it. Some of the best stuff, of course, sells right away the first person you show it to, but I don't know. I've always been drawn to Haitian paintings. I always like the color. Some of the better ones have a little more emotion into them. I like that, obviously, as well. But yeah, a lot of bright, bold colors. This one is neat. It's got a lot going on, pretty busy, like a lot of Haitian paintings. Not a listed artist or anything, but it's a little bit older than a lot of the ones you see, probably more like mid-century. There's a thin line for dealers between inventory and collection a lot of times, and for me, that line gets blurry as it did with this case. Just wondering, if those of you who follow me who are dealers, comment in the section below stuff that you've bought to resell that you ended up keeping, and of course, I know all full-time dealers buy stuff to keep and then end up selling it down the road. This, for instance, if I bought another painting I like better, I would have to, I only have X amount of space for stuff to hang on the wall, so only so many signs and so many paintings can go up at once, and so that's a little bit more forced to sell some of that stuff. Glass, bottles, I have a little more space to display that. A little bit easier to shove that in a box in a closet too if you wanted to keep it, but I don't like the idea of keeping stuff that I can't really display. But I've done it in the past, and I'll probably do it again in the future. But yeah, with art, it's only a limited number of spaces for stuff to hang. So sometimes if I get something better or something I like more, I probably will sell this. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy hanging it on my wall and looking at it. Thanks for watching, and check out some of my other videos, and like and subscribe, and in the future I'll talk more about what I collect and why I collect, and of course I'll show you some good finds as I get them. Thanks.